Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 3 of this best of 3 between mTwDIMAGA, who is the red Zerg player, and SlayerSCella, who is the, well, light coloured Protoss. And, well, this is going to be super good. It's game 3 of this best of 3. It is from the Gigabyte Nvidia Invitational, and if you haven't watched game 1 and 2, flick over to my channel and give it a quick watch because they were awesome games. So, assuming everyone has now seen them, let's do a quick roundup. Game 1, we saw dIMAGA go for a Baning Rain attempt to take out Sella. It didn't work, it was a long macro game, big fight, and dIMAGA lost the big fight basically and then lost the game. Game 2 a bit different, we saw Sella go for a massive 2-base play, that 2 Immortal Sentry build, the War Prism for the resupply, and basically it just worked so well. dIMAGA lost his 3rd base, and dIMAGA put up a good fight just trying to hold it off, but Sella just bought his time very well, and as a result got 5 Colossi up and just went and crushed dIMAGA after that. And that was a bit of a shame to see, but it was a good play. What I particularly liked about game 2 is the way Sella could have just gone to try and win after taking out dIMAGA's 3rd, but thought no, I've got a really nice lead now, I'm gonna play it safe and just advance upon the lead I already have. But this of course does mean that Sella is 2-0 up on dIMAGA, and obviously being a best of 5, if dIMAGA loses any of the next games he has instantly lost the series, and that's a really big psychological pressure to put on a player, because obviously it's not like game 1 where if I lose this I've got game 2 or anything like that. It's I've got to do it, I've got to win this game, otherwise I'm out. It all comes down to this for dIMAGA, whereas Sella much more relaxed. If I don't win this game, that doesn't matter. I've got game 4, and if I don't win game 4, then I've got game 5. He's just in such an amazing spot. Of course, also blocking off this attempt at an expansion should it go down. dIMAGA needs to take that quick 3rd. Every game so far he's gone for about 4-minute 3rd, which is about 20 seconds earlier than you tend to see. Usually 4 minutes 20 is the money spot for it, but to be honest, this is dIMAGA. He can get away with playing really economical. His entire play style this series has been focused about getting up a big bling army with Baning drops and just trying to make that work, that kind of heavy Zergling style with lots of upgrades. But the one component I think's been missing is the Infestors. I don't think he's been getting the Infestors quick enough, and really that's why you go for that Zergling style, is to really rapidly tech up to Infestor and utilize those to do the best you can. Now of course behind this we have got obviously Sella in a great spot. He's got everything he needs coming out. He's got that photon cannon. The Overlord is running away quite quickly. No gas yet out for either player. Probably won't see gas out from dIMAGA for quite a while. Sella should be starting to think about, once that Nexus is finished, we'll start thinking about getting the double gas. And there we go, literally right on cue, just as the Nexus is finishing up. 3rd base now down for dIMAGA. That was started about 12 seconds ago, so again, exactly on the 14-minute mark. He's got his natural coming down. He's got these Zerglings trying to pick off this probe, and should be able to now, as there are 2 in front, so that makes him sleep a lot more comfortably at night, because obviously he doesn't have to worry too much about any pylons or anything, but that Overlord is there just to spot them should they go down. Of course, we do have the Cyber Core on the way as well here for Sella, and now we can have this awkward period where not much will happen. The first gas coming down for dIMAGA, and that's a bit stylistic. You tend to see most Zerg players going for these quick 3 hatches to go for a build where they'll hold off the gas until about 30 to 50 supply really, and then they'll do the double gas or all 4 really quickly, which this is very different to that. It's getting that 1 gas earlier. I wouldn't like to speculate how it plays out. It probably results in getting the speed a bit quicker, but overall in kind of the mid-game position where you're getting layer as well and everything, all the timings probably do end up roughly similar. But again, I wouldn't like to speculate without doing a lot of research on it. But we do still have here the pylon coming down. We've got the +1 on its way out. We've got the warp gate tech. So far though, no kind of signs of what either player is going to be doing in terms of craziness. So let's just use this time to say, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. Subscribe as well. I put new games up every single day of the week, and most importantly, I reckon you should leave a cool comment, because interaction is cool. Or tweet me, that'd be sweet as well. So bear that in mind. Obviously that'd be awesome if you people could do that. So we've still got the chrono boost coming down on the Nexus, and if we flick over to the work account, that means that Sella is still ahead in terms of workers. That will stay that way basically until the injects start coming off at all 3 of these bases, and you get a Zerg player building like 6 drones at a time. No amount of chrono boosts can keep up with that, but of course that does mean that dIMAGA will be a little bit vulnerable for a while, especially while he is droning, because he needs to get up to about that kind of 70 plus drone number before he can start putting on the major pressure. The other downside to this, well, now the double Evo is coming out, what is going to be a mass upgraded Ling style, is you get an awful lot of lava. I'm talking stupid amounts of lava required in order to build it. And as a result, you need to start getting up a lot of minerals and also a lot of hatcheries, which dIMAGA has been a bit late on his macro hatch in my opinion, especially if that's the style you're going for. You just need so many lava to effectively build. But we'll wait and see how this plays out. Obviously the sentries are on their way down. We do have a lot of gateways coming out. That is a grand total of, well, 6 there, 7 gates. So 7 gates is pretty much the most you can really go with. You can do 8 gate, but it's just a complete 2 base all in. 7 gates will do like huge amounts of damage. It's going to be a massive push for dIMAGA to deal with. And if the sentry count is high, with only that Zergling has his only attacking unit basically, if the sentry count's high and the force fields are good, that's going to make it terribly bad times for dIMAGA. SlayerSCella just needs good force fields and will be in an amazing position moving forward. But of course there's currently no forward pylon. That's going to be the essential thing. There's this pylon here, so we'll probably see a warp in as we go down, literally right on cue there, everything where it should be, and then the probe should follow up to try and drop down a pylon really well. There, that's a great place for a pylon. So that is exactly what we're going to be seeing here from SlayerSCella. Now we do have some Zerglings running in, trying to pick off that pylon, but a complete wall off forming here. 3 cannons there. There's no way Zerglings are going to be punching through that. And now we've got this force moving forward incredibly threateningly for SlayerSCella right now. A pylon getting even closer, of course. This doubles up and preventing SlayerSCella from getting supply blocked. Just waiting for the next warp in of units, which should be pretty much ready now. And I mean, once that does come out, that's going to be so effective. But we do have a couple of Zerglings streaming over, but they won't be able to deal enough damage in time. Now, we've got an awful lot of Spine Crawlers coming down, the Banelings coming down. Spines are both the natural and third. And really, it's can it do enough damage? The force fields, if they're good, are going to be absolutely essential. Here we go with some force fields already, just reducing the surface area that the Zerglings have to attack. Not as good as they could have been there, to be honest, and a lot more resources lost for SlayerSCella so far, but more sentries getting warped in, and it's just an assumption from SlayerSCella now that there's only Zerglings on the field, and in which case you just need more sentries to kind of block it all off. Also a couple of Zealots getting warped in as well. The Banelings are going to be the threat. If they connect with those sentries, it will all be over, and it's looking like they're going to try and get in there, but some amazing last second force fields, and so many units there on red health, but just not quite going down. That was incredibly unlucky for dIMAGA, to be honest, and just a defensive force field allowing SlayerSCella to move back. This pylon is going to get taken down here by the Zerglings, and suddenly we've got this force being forced to retreat ASAP, and dIMAGA has help, but he's invested so much, and if we look at the worker count, it's not really as good as dIMAGA may like it to be. He's getting that drop tech down as well now, but SlayerSCella certainly is not where he wanted to be right now. He didn't do the massive, catastrophic damage he would have hoped for. He did no economic damage, aside from the fact of forcing dIMAGA to build a lot of spines and a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. But to be honest, that just means dIMAGA is going to be in a nice spot. SlayerSCella's taking up his third base here behind all of this, and that's going to force dIMAGA to take his fourth, which he's already doing because the Zergling was there to scout. And that's essentially, as a Zerg player, you want to be a base up. That's what you've got to be always thinking about and always doing. So, taking a look back up the base, here comes that macro hatchery, and you can see here it is really quite late. And the other kind of really massive thing I'm noticing is dIMAGA has banged up 700 gas. He has no infestation pit, and this is at the 12-minute mark. Even if you're not going for kind of a Ling infestor type style, you need those infestors up sooner rather than later. And that's going to mean that going into the later game, dIMAGA is going to have problems unless he does some really big damage. And one way of doing that big damage is morphing in 30 Banelings at a time and getting drop tech. You can then just go mass Bane Rain on your opponent and hope it works. But of course in game 1 we saw that didn't work for dIMAGA, and as a result he lost. This is not a position he wants to be in. 3 Archons getting morphed in here. No sign of Storm though, Blink on its way out. And only now the infestation pit coming down. We've got a big Zergling counterattack though. A 5th base also in production here. We've got Zerglings running around pretty much every way and any way. Going to probably try and knock out a couple of different bases. That's a single Zealot trying to hide anywhere it can. But this 3rd base has suddenly got an awful lot of Zerglings coming into it. And if it gets sniped down, that'd be a big loss for SlayerSCella. And of course, these are 1-1 Zerglings. But of course, with the Archons there, they're going to be able to clean this up very quickly. And that 3rd Nexus should stay up very comfortably. So it was a nice try by dIMAGA there, but he just sacrificed a lot of units and a lot of resources and did nothing with it, really. Which is a bit of a shame, but of course DIMAGA, he's got his 4th up and running now, he's got his 5th base about 3/4 done, he's got more Zergling counterattacks geared up, ready to go. The Overlords are there, Overlord speed is done, we do have the Ventral Sacks as well, allowing for drops of those Banelings. Hive on its way. Now what was really amazing, Pathogen Glands hasn't been started. This is absolutely insane. I don't quite know why DIMAGA hasn't started it, because it's such a powerful upgrade. Fungal Growth and Infestors as a whole is so incredibly good, especially with Blink in production here for Sella. DIMAGA is going to need to immobilize those Stalkers somehow, otherwise he's going to have absolutely massive problems. The Rock's getting taken down because of course he's just got so much stuff now, needs those good arcs. We do have the Zerglings everywhere, and of course we do have the Spines moving forward. So this is great work by DIMAGA in terms of utilizing stuff he built earlier to make them last and be as effective as possible. He built them earlier to defend against that 7-gate push and is now moving them forward to be safer. Now here are all the Banelings, but these center rocks have been taken down. That means Sella can resupply so quickly, even from his own base, but the downside is so can DIMAGA. A group of Zerglings just staying up here, ready to counterattack. I think that's a great move. Just a handful of Zerglings are able to do so much damage if there's no units there, but we do see that there's only a tiny little gap for them to run in through here, and somehow this force has got to work. But of course, DIMAGA, he's nearly maxed out. Sella is getting those 4 pylons, but DIMAGA is maxed out on Zergling and Baneling, basically, and that is it. And with so many Archons out here, and of course the Blink Stalkers and the Force Fields, this could be really tough. And DIMAGA not engaging, but instead just losing an awful lot of stuff for free. Overcome the Overlords, we're going to see a mass amount of Bane Rain, and the Sentries do all get taken out very quickly. That means no more Force Fields. But those Stalkers, they are backing off as quickly as they can. The Archons, quite a few go down, but at the moment this is not too good in terms of position for DIMAGA, especially as he is now supply block, but he does have those roaches out, which are going to be essential. The upgrades are there currently for DIMAGA at 2-1 for his roaches and 2-2 for his Zerglings, but this force, it just has so much momentum. There gets to a point where you just have too many Blink Stalkers, and that is exactly what we're seeing here. And to be honest, Sella is going to have massive problems. There goes down the 5th base, and DIMAGA is just really pinned against the ropes right now. He's trying to get up a whole load of units. He's got Adrenal Glands on the way, and once that kicks in will help massively because the sentry numbers aren't there, so the Zerglings can be super effective. But I mean, if DIMAGA does lose this 4th, then essentially he's back on equal basis with Sella. But the Zerglings, they're coming in. This is before Adrenal Glands is done. They're trying to get a good surround, but the Blink is pretty good out of Sella, losing quite a few units from non-perfect Blinks. But again, this is just so cost effective. Blink Stalkers can engage so cost effectively against Zerg. This Blink might go absolutely perfect right now. But of course, no production behind this at the moment for Sella. But here we go with a 6 Warpins. And again, we're suddenly looking at DIMAGA be behind in supply, and once that happens, you know as a Zerg player you're in massive problems. Those Stalkers have cleaned up pretty much everything here, and the Blink play is just still absolutely amazing, and this is just allowing Sella to engage so cost effectively. And of course now these reinforcements are coming in. I think this could pretty much be it, guys. I don't see how DIMAGA can come back from this. Yes, he does have some awesome upgrades. He is at what, 2-2 with Adrenal Glands on those Zerglings, getting the +3 melee attack out, but I mean, there's just too many Stalkers. The Blink is so effective, and there's the GG and the good luck from DIMAGA as Sella takes this series 3-0. So as I said at the start, please thumbs up the video if you liked it. Please subscribe, that'd be sweet as well. And of course, subscribe. Did I say subscribe? Leave a comment. Basically, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Those are the 3 things, that'd be awesome. But most importantly, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and bye for now.